Where were you when you found out about X?
Walking out of the courtroom.
For real?
Getting out of jail.
How long you been in there?
I was like a week and some change.
Oh, for that bullshit.
I got out on my birthday.
Right.
He passed on my birthday.
So how'd that feel? You're coming out of a fucking shitty ass experience.
Yeah, that shit was just weird, bro. I felt the energy though. That shit, I don't know, bro. That shit was just weird to even like, if you look up X and then look up me on Google, you say Trippie Redd birthday, June 18th, 1999. And you look up X, it say death day, June 18th, 18. That shit's creepy.
How'd you meet him in the first place?
I was in the car listening to fucked up, fucked up, fucked up. And I made an Insta snap and tagged him in it. And he hit me back. He was like, I love your shit, bro. I see similarity between us. Like, you not on what these other kids on. I fuck with you. And then ever since then, we just had been talking and shit. And then I went out to Miami and I had a show out there. And I invited him and he came to perform with me type shit. And then after that, I lived with him for like a month or two.
Really? So what was that like?
Fucking fire. It's hard having somebody that's like on the same shit as you, but also someone that you can actually talk to and actually feel like they're not just saying shit to you. Like, we just had like a bond that nobody else I'd had with nobody else, really. You feel me? He
Just
was
those
genuine.
long conversations. Like, he was so good for that. I was saying on an interview that, like, you would see him FaceTiming, and you'd have to be, like, mentally preparing yourself for, like, okay, we're going to battle for, like, an hour talking right here.
Yeah, but also, like, he just was, like, my best friend, you feel me? That was my best friend. Like, we just, I don't know, he was going through some shit with Ski, but I still fucked with Ski, so I was still talking to Ski, too, but we was just, like, we was best friends, bro. We did everything. I mean, Trippie Blue and ZZZ.
What's that mean?
He used to call me Trippie Blue. Now I called him ZZZ.
Oh, okay.
You don't remember that when we was here? I was calling him ZZZ.
Okay, I do remember. Okay, so that time period, because I remember that was a crazy day, because the only times I ever seen X in real life was when we did the first interview and then that time that he came here with you. And you guys were all wearing the crazy-ass pants with the straps all over them. And I look down the street and I see you and him walking down the street, and you didn't really like, I didn't see any like dudes that look like security really. It looked like you were just with some hood dudes. I'm like, what the fuck are these two dudes walking down the street for?
Yeah, we was just chilling. We was out here showing off. We was on Fairfax.
Yeah.
We was out here.
You walked from like the Supreme store.
Yeah, we was previewing Fuck Love to everybody and shit. We had like 1,000 little kids outside our little limo truck. We had a little limousine truck with all the party shit on the inside. It was cool as fuck, candy and shit.
Did you when you made, where were you when you made that song? And we were just recording like crazy when you guys were together in Florida?
I went to the studio with him, and it was this beat that Detail had. You know who Detail is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he had this beat. X wasn't really fucking with it. So I was like, shit, if you don't fuck with it, I like this shit. Let me take it. So he let me take it and shit. Detail sent me the shit. I went to Wayne's studio, and I was with Hoodie Baby and Wayne, and Mac Main pulled up too. And we was just in there vibing and shit. Everybody left. It was just me and Hoodie. And I did some shit with Hoodie, and then right after I was like, let me cut this shit. I got you. Like, go ahead, bro. So shout out Hoodie Baby, by the way. But yeah, so I end up recording this shit. I just freestyle some shit. Matter of fact, I had the melody in my head the night before.
You're always working on melodies in your head, right? Because I've seen you be like prepared coming in the studio like multiple times. Like, you really know what you're gonna do.
Right, yeah. Like, if I have a beat that I really feel is like, feel me, I do that shit.
I feel like you pay more attention to your craft than a lot of people. A lot of people are really happy to just get in there and just freestyle, and you seem like more calculated.
Yeah, like, it has to be up to par. Like, I'll sit back on a song for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month or something, and then come back to it and be like, I know what I'm gonna say now. It's different now. So that's how I work. But I cut that part, and then I previewed it on my Instagram and shit. And X DM'd that shit to me right away and was like, bitch, let me get this on my album. I'm like, for real, that's what you trying to do? He said, say less. And he was like, bet. I sent it to him. And then he sent it back to me. And I pulled up on him instantly, like, nigga, this shit hard as fuck.
Were you, like, how did it feel to be the only guest on his fucking first album? Like, of all, he has so many friends that, like, he's known forever, artists that would have killed for that opportunity and stuff, and you were the only one on there.
That was my dog, bro. I fucked with him. Despite our differences and shit, like, we always hit each other up regardless. You know how he is. Mm-hmm. We hit each other up and be like, bro, what you doing? Blase Skip, you good? This and that. Then he'll explain how he feel about shit, and I explain how I feel about shit. And even if we agree or disagree, we still talk to each other the next day. Like, we always fluently talk. Like, if it was never like a week that'd go by where we ain't talk.
Mm-hmm. But you guys were beefing pretty tough, like pretty close to the time that he passed, right?
Not when he
But like a
passed,
few months before that, you guys had gone at it pretty bad online.
Yeah.
So what was the state? Did you guys ever really get a chance to talk after all that crazy shit?
Yeah, we talked. Right after I got off that live with Academics, we talked and shit. And we put aside our differences. We was talking to each other. So that shit ain't really, feel me? I don't have to suffer of he passed away and I didn't get to say what I had to say to him. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think about how that would have felt?
Oh, yeah, it would have hurt. It would have hurt bad. It still do hurt, the simple fact that he passed on my birthday. That shit weird. Mm. But it is what it is. I still feel like he watching over me. See the number 17 and 14 now.
Do you, when you just look at his impact that he made, like, you know, it's kind of like he was so huge during his life, but then in his passing, it's like we can actually see how big he was and how larger than life his career was and how big his personality was and how many people were so deeply affected. I don't know. How's it been for you to just watch like the reaction of ever since he passed?
Bruh, when he passed, bruh, I went up 1 million followers.
Yeah, I can't lie. The similar shit for me. Like it was weird. It was like all of a sudden everything about him and my shit in general.
Anything that had to do with him went up.
It was scary.
But I feel like I had like one of the biggest impacts on this shit. It was like weird on a spiritual level though. I felt like it was like, you seen what I could do, now do you? Figure this shit out. And I sat back and learned from the situation. And I'm like, fuck all this negative ass shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck anything negative. I want to be positive. I mean, I want to be an influence to these kids. I want to do better. So, I mean, his growth was amazing. That shit was crazy. I think our song went from like platinum to like, it's about to be like double or triple. That shit crazy.
I mean, yeah, it's weird to see like his Instagram followers fucking doubled when he passed. He went from like 7 to 14. Like, it's just crazy to see how people react when somebody passes. They all want to fucking figure him out at that point.
Yeah, when they should have been figuring them out.
Yeah.
Why not? If you don't know somebody, try something new.
It's pretty crazy you say that about, because, you know, he's somebody that during early period in his life, like I was talking to people back in Florida about what he was like, you know, before the music shit even became really popular. And like Bruno, his manager, was kind of saying like this kid was basically famous in Florida for fucking people up before he was famous for the music shit. You know, so he saw that side of shit where he was notorious, legendary for being like a crazy motherfucker. And then...
And we had talks like about the positive shit. Like,
right, because he got to have that whole transformation.
I was influencing on him the same shit. I just didn't want him to be a negative soul. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then we kind of fell out because I went to being negative and he went to being positive. So it was like, but I mean, I wasn't looking at it like I was being negative. I was just trapped in that world.
Your way of thinking has changed now?
Hell yeah. Fuck all that goofy shit.
Yeah. I mean, just seeing him pass kind of makes a lot of stuff seem petty in comparison, you know?
Petty as fuck.
Yeah.
Not even a word for it. What's worse than petty?
But he saw, you know, he saw the situation of what it was like to be known for being a crazy motherfucker. And then, like, over time, like, the way we view him and stuff, and it's hard for a lot of people to understand why his fans, their memory of him is as this person who, like, personified and, like, represented, like, wanting to change the world in a positive way, you know? Like, we all saw him turning into that. People just want to focus on some shit he might have done earlier in his career that was negative, you know?
Right. Man, even his sad video, that shit was him fighting his old self. His like, kind of negative entity.
That was weird as fuck.
Like, he was so aware of that thing that was going on within himself. Like, and he did things like separating himself from everybody and putting himself in the...
from himself.
Right. Like, he didn't want to be in LA because he knew that if he was around all these influences out here that he wouldn't be able to sort of work on himself, you know?
Yeah, he used to didn't want to come out here all like that. The only reason he would come out here is like people like me. Like, he'd come chill with me, want to go paintballing and shit or some shit like that, go to the studio. Other than that, he ain't really want to do shit. And then kind of like when I got in a relationship, he was kind of like, nigga.
He was jealous?
Kind of. But it was like, he just was trying to spit me some game on females and shit. But it was like, sometimes I got to handle stuff on my own, you know, like be a man about it. I took his advice though, you know, I kept it in mind. But I'm my own man, you feel me? That was kind of one of our differences that made us fall out. He just didn't want shit that happened with him to happen to me. And I was just trying to explain, like, feel me? I don't think it would, but if it did, I'm my own man, and I need to learn that shit myself if that's gonna be what it's gonna be.
Right.
And we kind of didn't see eye to eye to it. Because one time he came over, and he said I wasn't paying him no attention. Like
he
I
was
dipped
like
out
that.
the room, and
He was
I was
needy.
with her and shit. And
He was
I'm like,
needy, right?
I mean, he fucked with me, you know what I'm saying? So he always wanted to be Trippie Blue and ZZZ, which I fuck with that shit. That's hard, you feel me? I grew up without having them too many friends, you know what I'm saying? So I admired him for that. I thought that was cool, how we was so tight. I think that shit was cool as fuck. Like, I don't think me and anybody else would ever be that tight.
I mean, it's hard when you're on a level like you are. When you're as famous as you are, it's hard to find somebody that you really fuck with that you could actually really spend time with.
I could say Yachty.
Yachty, okay.
Yeah, Yachty. I know him. You know what I'm saying?
He's a really good dude.
He's genuine. He's positive.
He's not on some weird shit.
Good dude, yeah. And you know what I'm saying? I've been fucking with YoungBoy. I fuck with YoungBoy too.
Love YoungBoy.
Yeah.
He's a maniac.
Hell yeah. I fuck with him.
Yeah, he's crazy.
I don't know bro too much though, so I can't really. But I fuck with dude.
I was in the studio with him for a little bit, I was just talking to him nonstop the whole time. I was trying to understand this motherfucker.
Yeah, he's real. You can't understand him if he don't want you to understand him.
Would you ever get a tattoo of another rapper like Kevin Gates got the NBA YoungBoy tattoo? Wayne, you got it?
Not yet.
Just Wayne?
Kurt Cobain, and that's not a rapper. I'm just saying, like, people that influence me, how I get them tatted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You think that when we look back on this shit 10, 20 years from now, that people will put X in the same category as people like Kurt Cobain and Tupac?
Yeah. Why not? I feel like the world be clouded, stuck in a box, thinking negative. You know what I'm saying? They don't really think of this generation of what it is. Like, they can't see the light on certain people. But you need to see the light on certain people, because certain people are bigger than what you think. And that proved it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so.
I mean, yeah, there's like something about certain artists that their music, their career could be so meaningful that they sort of like shift everybody else's music in a large way. And like, I feel like his impact kind of had that in a way where just a lot of other people, even if they didn't realize it, his impact on the game was just sort of like changing the way that a lot of people were doing things. And that's kind of like one of the biggest signs of just being a a legend. And you got her on the Black and Wilds too?